Do you ever find that you don't make decisions because you're afraid? It looks something like this. I remember when I was married, okay? This is my trial marriage, and I'm happily married now to my second husband. I have been for 13 years. But I remember when I first got married, I was afraid, when I was thinking about getting a divorce, I was afraid like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna leave him and he's gonna be the most amazing husband to somebody else and he's gonna be so perfect and they're gonna get all the parts of him that, I didn't get because he's gonna all of a sudden transform into this wonderful husband. Well, guess what? That didn't happen. He was kind of a poop butt then, and he still is a poop butt now, even worse, okay? But I remember thinking that. And it's the same way sometimes in our profession. Maybe you are super unhappy with your job and you don't like what you're doing. And so you just stay stuck and you stay still because you're afraid of the unknown. You're afraid of whether or not you may or may not make it, right? And you're afraid that, what if all of a sudden miraculously you leave your job and then your boss just all of a sudden turns into the best boss ever and the company changes. Well, let's face it, that's not what happens in life, right? Many times we stay stuck right where we are. We don't take action, right? And we, all of a sudden, a day becomes a week becomes a month becomes a year becomes 10 years. And the cost of inaction, the cost of not going after our dreams, whether it be a business dream or a personal dream or whatever it might be, it's like I've known the cost of inaction. I say it because I've done it. I say it because I've been there. I know the cost of inaction. I'm one of the most motivated people that you will ever meet. But I have had things happen to me where I waited too long or I didn't do something and it cost me a significant amount of something, right? Whether it be money, whether it be a lot of time, whether it be the resources. It's kind of like when I first started coaching. I remember, I wanted to start coaching many, many years before I started. And back then, there was nobody talking about using video. Nobody was even speaking of those things when I first started to want to become a real estate coach, right? And so I waited a couple years, and all of a sudden when I launched, well, guess what? People talking about doing video and how important, social media was in your business as a real estate agent completely, it was all over the place. Now, the cost of inaction with that was that had I started many years prior like I had wanted to, well, I would have had a much easier time kind of breaking into the real estate industry. And so don't let fear hold you back. In fact, fear is like one of the biggest things that hold entrepreneurs, business owners, people back is they're afraid of the unknown. They're afraid of what if they make a mistake. They're afraid of what if it doesn't work. Well, here's what I'm going to say. What if it does? What if it does work? What if you are happier? What if you realize that you should have done this a long time ago? Really, really analyze where those fears come from. One of my mentors said this: when you're thinking about a change or you want to do something in life, think about what's the worst possible thing that could ever happen. Really, really list it out. What's the worst possible thing that could happen? And many times, once you go, okay, that's not so bad. That's not so bad after all, I remember when I wanted to change careers. And back at that time, I was, doing over $1 million in gross commissions earned as a real estate agent. And I told my family, who love me very much and support me and want me to do well, I said, guess what, guys? I'm going to go and be a real estate coach. And they were like, not a good idea, Krista. Nobody's going to pay you to be their coach. And normal people, Krista, who are making over $1 million a year, in real estate commissions, they don't change and do something different. And I almost listened to them, right? Because I was afraid. What if it didn't work? And I had spent, all these years building up my real estate name and, selling thousands of homes and in the top 1% of realtors nationwide. And I thought, what if I don't do as well as a coach? And what if I don't make it? And I'll tell you what, it was hard. It didn't come easy. I had to work my butt off. I almost lost everything. In fact, when Corona hit, we were at a 6-week burn rate. But guess what? It's working now. And now we're able to do in a month what we used to do in a year and even more, right? So in just a 4-year time frame, because I took the risk and I put in that hard work and I changed and diverted and figured it out along the way. Now we're able to transform thousands of lives. I absolutely am the happiest I've ever been in my career. And it's all because I didn't let fear hold me back. So don't let fear hold you back either. It's the enemy, right? It's like the devil. It's like the most worst thing ever is fear. It's that thing that says, stay comfortable, stay where you are. Well, here's the thing. All the good stuff happens on the outside, right? Behind every fear is an opportunity. What are you afraid of? And what are you going to do about it? Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.